Another book we must consider and address is the Book of Enoch. My name is Lex, and welcome to UNLEARN. The Book of Enoch is not part of the Apocrypha, and it was never part of the original Jewish or Christian canon of Scripture, except in certain Ethiopic traditions. The Book of Enoch is a collection of writings by various authors spanning 300 years during the intertestamental period, and it was written about 2,000 years after Enoch was taken by God. Enoch is referred to as pseudepigrapha, which means false writing, because it claims to be written by Enoch when it was not. This means the Book of Enoch is a forgery that is trying to pass itself off as being written by Enoch. This fact alone makes it untrustworthy because it lies about its own authorship. It was originally written in Aramaic, but only fragments of the Aramaic text have been found. There is a rumor that a complete Aramaic scroll of Enoch was found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, but it has never been released to the public, and no translations have ever been made from it. Every translation we have today is based on Ethiopic versions of the book that date from the 15th century, so we don't even know for sure how accurate they are to the original. Aside from its claim to be written by Enoch, the book also contains a story about Noah and the flood, which doesn't make sense because he was taken before Noah was even born. How could Enoch write about events that took place after he was taken? The book also contains stories about fallen angels teaching things to mankind and names those fallen angels, something the Bible doesn't do. It also seems to exalt Enoch as a Messiah figure, and in some versions, Enoch is even identified as the Son of Man, a title that belongs only to Yeshua. Enoch is portrayed as being sent by faithful watchers, angels, to the unfaithful fallen watchers, demons, to deliver a message to them. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages, and lo, the watchers called me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, thou scribe of righteousness, go declare to the watchers of heaven, who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women. 1 Enoch 12, 3-4. When Enoch spoke to the fallen watchers, the demons, they were afraid, and they asked Enoch to intercede for them by asking God to forgive them. Then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they besought me to draw up a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness, and to read their petition in the presence of the Lord of heaven. 1 Enoch 13, 3-5. After that, God spoke to Enoch and told him to rebuke the watchers for sending a man to intercede for them. And I heard his voice, Fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice. And go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to intercede for them, you should intercede for men and not men for you. 1 Enoch 15, 1-3. This strange story of a man being so righteous that angels would send him to do their job is just one example of how Enoch is exalted by this book. He is portrayed as being more than a man, but not quite deity. Enoch also claims to have a special revelation that no one else will ever have access to. This special knowledge is also meant to exalt Enoch above everyone else. And I, Enoch alone, saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man shall see as I have seen. 1 Enoch 19:3. Some people believe Jude was quoting from the Book of Enoch, and they assert that because Jude quoted it, it must be Scripture. Yet Paul quotes from pagan philosophers, but we don't think their writings should be treated as Scripture. If we examine the quote from Jude, notice that he isn't quoting something that was written. He's quoting something that was spoken, and he doesn't even mention a book. Now Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied about these men also, saying, this is found in Jude 1:14. Jude isn't referencing a book. He isn't referencing something Enoch wrote. He's referring to something that Enoch spoke. This quote was most likely an oral tradition that was passed down from generation to generation. It's possible that one of the Book of Enoch's authors inserted this quote into the Book of Enoch to validate the book and make it seem more likely that Enoch wrote it, since it was a quote that is known to originate from Enoch. This is something that is often done with pseudepigrapha because they're trying to make a false document seem legitimate. Jude might have been aware of the existence of the Book of Enoch, but he did not reference any such book, nor did he say anything about this prophecy being written down anywhere. So it is speculation to assume that Jude is quoting from the Book of Enoch. However, even if it could be proven that Jude was quoting directly from the Book of Enoch, we cannot conclude that Jude thought the entire book was inspired scripture. All we can safely conclude is that the specific quote in the book of Jude is inspired by God because Jude referenced it as a true prophecy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll really like this next one. Also, think about someone else who might like this video and share it with them. And remember, the truth will set you free. We'll see you next time.